What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Mermail going up against Brand the Despia on the right side. Before we dive on in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. We're on the road to 10K and you guys' support. We are going to be seeing no Mermail cards for real this time. We did go to the YCS and one of our teammates ended up playing Mermail. So we actually now know what the cards do pretty much exactly. The exact same player here is playing on the left side here. Very good. I actually know the entire deck by heart at this point. I'm not exactly great with the deck. I don't really know the combos or anything, but I do know what the cards do finally, and I have watched the combos enough to kind of see what the cards do. And obviously I did play Brand Despia, so I do know what these cards do by heart. We are going to be diving on in with seeing Brand Despia going to be going first here into the game one. So we do see a Quem being the normal summon, activating its effects, going to be dumping a branded related card to the graveyard. And that's going to be pretty good, dumping either Retribution, or if we have another way to get to Retribution, we can dump any of the cards we want to kind of search here. We're going to dump the Mercourier because we do have the Sorenir in the hand, which then can banish the Mercourier and letting us get that additional search. So we are going to be seeing the Sorenir now going to be banishing and then bringing itself out. And that's going to now see the Mercourier going to be searching for an Albaz or Friends here, mostly going for an Albion, or I can say the Cartesia, depending on what we have in our hand already. We're now going to go for Albion, which can then dump another branded related card or a copy of Albaz, depending on what we want to go for. But we do go dumping the branded fusion, which is at 1. Hopefully in the next list coming very soon, hopefully we do see this card at 2. The deck doesn't really do very much, so potentially having the card at 2 is going to help out quite a bit. We do see the draw not being the greatest, so we set 2 cards here, being a droplets as well as the trap, and then just pass turn on this. We do have 2 thrusts in the hand, not looking like the greatest card, and Very Statue being a normal summon is going to be quite difficult for us to kind of play through this. We are going to be seeing now 1/4 and get activated, discarding the level 3 fish looking crocodile thing. Now I don't exactly know all these cards by name, but this one lets you just bring back one for the cards in the hand here. So not obviously the best one. It's like called glutinous something, but we're going to be seeing the Prince going to be summoned out off that 1/1, and then this is going to be hit with a droplets for 2, being the thrust and the Sorenir. And we are going to be seeing the Sorenir now dumping a copy of Sword to the graveyard. And then we can go for the Prince, sending for cost, sending the copy of the Dragoons, searching for the Leviathan here. Then we're seeing Leviathan is summoning itself out by discarding the Shadow Squad, and that's going to be bouncing the trap to the hand. And we have the ability to activate the trap here, though. So we're going to activate that to copy Branded Fusion. And you take a second to read this. It does banish the Branded Fusion, which is going to be pretty problematic. But we're going to be also going for the Sword Banish to add back the Mercourier from the hand. And then we're going to be using the Tragedy alongside the Albaz to let us now go for a Lubellion. Lubellion will be able to discard another card in our hand. And we do summon out the Abyss Spike here. And then we're going to be seeing the effect of Abyss Spike as well as the Dragoons, sending another copy of Dragoons here. So we're going to be adding multiple cards on this, and we do bring back out the Mercourier there off the Quem. We're going to go for a Mirror Jade here. And then we still have the Tragedy, which search for the Aluber. And then we have the Mercourier summoning itself out essentially for a free negate here. And then we get the Minstrel as well as the, whatever her name is, the Abyss Shrine Spirit, as well as the Minstrel to the hand. So you have lots of cards there. Having the double Dragoons letting us search is low-key kind of nuts. And then obviously letting us search for a level 3 water off the Abyss Spike is like, what the heck. And so we do take a second to read the Mirror Jade. We have Mirror Jade as well as Mercourier now kind of live. And we know our opponent has a Minstrel. I do want to apologize because the microphone did die. So for the next videos here, it is going to be a little bit rough. We're going to be back on just the regular audio. I'll have to buy another microphone in the meantime, but we are going to be seeing the Minstrel going to activate its effects, discarding itself and a Prince, and they do chain Mercourier to this. Now we're going to be seeing the Dragoon being summoned off the Prince now. I don't necessarily know I would do that, to be honest. I feel like I would personally not negate the with the Mercurier there, waiting for it to be something more impactful alongside the lines of either a Bahamut Shark or something like that. Because we're going to be seeing another Bahamut Shark being made. Now, we can just banish it off the Mirror Jade, but like at this point, we don't really have a negate live anymore. So I don't really see the point in doing that, to be honest. Now, we do link those two now away for a copy of the Sea Anemone, the Marincest Coral Anemone, I should say, and that's going to let us bring back out the water statue once again. Now, the issue that I had with like Mercuriing this is that it doesn't actually do anything. Like, you know, the only card we don't have known in hand is Thrust, and we're going to get the Thrust back anyways, so it's not going to be that much of a difference in the long run if they would have just like minstreled us. So I don't really know why we chose to stop that there. Like, Thrust is not really a super important known card, especially with Branded Fusion at 1. Maybe we're hoping that we get to go and search for a Grass, but it's not going to be that much of a difference here. We do see them send the Spike to summon it from the deck, and we're going to choose to summon out a copy of the level 7 Co-op Serpent, whatever. It lets us summon out a bunch of different bodies. But you're going to immediately overlay up into the Atlantean Spirit, super rare Chick. And we are out of cards in our hand now here. So we get to summon out the Dragoons now. And now we can go up into the new guy, the new Atlantean XYZ, which bounces the card. So we're going to be sending those two to bounce Quem as well as Mirror Jade. We're just going to get around the Mirror Jade effect to bounce here. So we're going to be dumping most likely the copy of the Atlantean Spirit, whatever her name is, the Abyss Shrine. To then let's just bounce those cards. Now we're going to be left with a Luber, Thrust, and then an Unknown card, which is going to be the drawn card for turn, but we still have Sprint, which can let us get like the Albaz to the hand. Now the problem is we can't really beat a barrier statue quite easily with this. There also is potentially an OTK line if we want to play risky. Like, there is only one Unknown card in hand, so we could see like the Totally Awesome being maybe going with like a Bahamut Shark using the 2 level 4s, and then we can like link away the Coral as well as the Poseidra to go up and get game. But like, this is a very risky play here. Like, if we had Nib right now, that'd be essentially just game over. We're going to be seeing the Bahamut Shark and then now summon out the Totally Awesome. We're going to get the Dragoon effect once again because it's not once per turn, as well as when it's attached or sent to the graveyard for a card effect. That's a water. We get a search. We then go for the OTK push because we are protected by that Totally Awesome. We're going to now go up into the Link 3, and then we're going to see the Poseidra going to summon out the 3 bodies, going for the little shark guy, and then both copies of Abyss Shrine because they are level 3s, and they do have 16 and 1,000 attacks, 32, and then, of course, the 1,000. So we do see game going to be made there. We couldn't attack with Bahamut Shark, but like 32 plus 22 is 5,000 alongside the Link, which is 24, so, and then 1,000. So yeah, we definitely had game there without the Shark having to attack. And so we see that the Mermail end up taking game 1. Yeah, I want to apologize once again. Like, you know, post Vegas has kind of been a little bit rough for us. We didn't kind of plan correctly. Work was a lot more of a handful than I anticipated coming back, and then having some other plans as well as other projects to work on. And then, of course, regionals the following week. We did not get videos kind of prepared, as well as now the microphone dying on us is definitely not the most comforting thing. I'm also working to get the logo redone as well for the channel. I have used some of the new not thumbnails, but the description, and we're working on other content as well. There's a lot of just, you know, moving pieces right now, and unfortunately when you're moving a lot of pieces in a car, it does sometimes tend to break in the engine, I should say. So that's a little bit unfortunate. We are going to get some mics coming in the mail soon. I'll probably get some Rode mics, maybe some like good La Palm mics. We can like playing different things at locals, or some different videos as well for like interviews or some such. I don't really know. I don't think that people really are interested in Yu-Gi-Oh podcasts, so that definitely is nothing that we've kind of looked into. But we're also going to try to do like some like live stream stuff like that. I feel like that's definitely maybe some interest in it there. So potentially we might see that as well. But diving into game number 2, which is what you guys are here for, seeing a Branded versus Mermail mirror, or I guess not mirror, but match. We're going to be seeing Branded going to go first once again with a normal summon of an Aluber. That is going to go through the Mermail deck, not playing a lot of hand traps, just like the more impactful ones like Nib, Droll, Imperm and stuff like that, and the Ash Blossoms. We do see Ash on that Branded fusion, being one of the most impactful. Now, Ash is going to be a defensive as well as offensive card in this deck because it does get hit with any of the Mermail, or the Mermaid deck does get hit with any of the Mulcharmies. It hurts them quite a bit. So having the Ash deck is going to help us quite a bit. Now, we do activate a Branded opening, and we do chain a Full Roast here. These are some of the best cards in the entire game. Full Roast and Ash Blossom is almost in every person's deck, as well as like Imperms and stuff like that. And I don't think they're playing Imperm, but I could be mistaken. So we do go for the Quem. Quem is going to then proceed to dump. And we do get a draw off the Full Roast. We do decide to dump the Cartesia here. Now we go for in the Dear Servant, which is going to allow us to make a play under the Full Roast here. So we have to dump the Albion, which now we can get the Albaz to our hand. Now we're going to see the Cartesia going to be bringing out that Quem bring out that Cartesia here because a extra deck card did leave the extra deck, being that Albion. And now we can go end phase for Albion, allowing us to set either a Branded in red or anything else here. And we gave them one draw off this, but we can't continue to play during our opponent's next turn. Now, we're going to set a Branded in red here, and now what we're most likely going to be seeing is Cartesia going to be using herself during the main phase, using the Albaz in the hand to go up for a Granganol, and then we're going to be seeing the Quem or the Branded in red using that Albaz and stuff. So we are going to be seeing the Poseidra going to be sending itself to summon out itself, and we do chain the Cartesia here, using the Aluber and the Cartesia for a Granganol, and then Granganol will activate its effects on the separate chain. So maybe trying to save the Branded in red for a Guardian Chimera, perhaps. They're going to be seeing Poseidra going to be resolving here. It is Poseidra, not Leviathan, right? Poseidra is the extra deck one. No, it is Poseidra, okay. They're going to be dumping Dragoons. And that's going to let them add. Now, we do have an opportunity to activate the Granganol effect. But we activate Branded in red and chain, targeting the Aluber. And they do have a Call by the Grave for that Aluber, making that Branded in red not resolve. And yeah, having Called by Aluber is pretty powerful, honestly. Now we're going to be seeing the Rinbrum going to be sent to the graveyard off of the Granganol. They're going to by Titaniclad here, and we are going to be bouncing back the Granganol off of the Poseidra because it was sent to the graveyard. And then we do see a normal summon of a Prince, activating the effect, sending for cost a copy of the Shadow Squad. And then we're going to be searching for the Dragoon. Then we're going to be seeing Shadow Squads coming out from the deck, the Abyss Shrine. Then we're going to go, or Abyss Spike. The Abyss Spike's going to send the Dragoon, search for a Minstrel. We're going to see the Dragoon's going to activate its effects here. And like this deck just adds. We're going to see them add another Prince. They're going to activate the Minstrel effect, sending itself. And they do look at the hand. We hit 2 Albazes. So, of course, I just banished one Albaz. It's going to be kind of rough. We do then go up now into the Collapse Serpent by sending. And then we're now going to be bringing back out the Dragoon. We're going to now go up into our copy of the Bahamut Shark, getting an Omni Negate on the field right away. And then we are going to be seeing the Cartesia being able to be brought back out by that Quem. And then we do go for the Totally Awesome now. Then we're seeing the effect of Dragoon, search for another copy of Squad. And yeah, I mean, we're kind of off to the races here. We're going to see the Collapse Serpent going to activate its effect, sending the Shadow Squad, sending the Spike alongside maybe another copy of Spike, or just that one. Okay. So we have the rest of them in our hands. We do then get to overlay up into the level 7, and then we're going to go up once again. We kind of all know how this goes, bouncing those cards back and getting that OTK. We're going to be seeing them go up into the Abyss Shark once again. Bahamut Shark, not Abyss Shark, going on to secondly, totally awesome here. Then we can link away, and we get to search for the another prince here. We're going to go up into the bigger guy here. Then we're going to detach 2, and then dump. And they are thinking, like, I can go for a barrier statue, just guarantee the win. I can't see a world where Brandon ends up beating this board, to be honest, but we're going to dump the Dragoons. They're going to be bouncing back those to the hand. And now we have Albaz, Cartesia, and the Quem. I wonder if we should have chained Cartesia to use the Alibur instead of a Luber turn, like in the 0 turn, so we can then Quem summon back out the Albaz. Now the issue with that is that Cobblero would have beat it anyways, but then we could like chain the Brandon Red to add back the Albaz perhaps. But yeah, we do see Brandon end up diminishing defeat there because the water deck, which was way too powerful, going to be storming the field. So we do see water end up 2-0ing Brandon there. I don't necessarily know I would have, looking back, if I personally would have gone for the Despia Aluber targeting by the Call by the Grave, but like you can't really play around Call by the Grave at this point. You know, it is a 1-of in the deck. Now, unfortunately, they didn't end up seeing it there, but it is what it is. Regardless, hope you're watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. There will be better content soon, as well as better audio. I do apologize for having to go back into just using a standard audio mic. I know that is not as good, and you get to see more background, but don't forget to stay safe. Peace.